We have talked about this as being potentially Death Valley for the Phoenix Suns, this stretch that they're in right now. But they've won 2 of their first 3 games during this daunting period to end the season. As it stands, their strength of schedule in their final 10 games is the 3rd most difficult in the last 30 years. This is historically tough. You kind of have to laugh so you don't cry. But Brian, when you're looking at these next 7 games, how important is it not just for the immediate future of the Suns' postseason hopes, but also for long term in this franchise?
Yeah, the Suns are a team that a lot of people are scared of, but a lot of people are mystified by. And I'll bet their fans have had a roller coaster ride this season because they shoot the three-pointer very well, but they don't shoot that many of them. When they pass the ball, they're pretty much unstoppable. But they're among the league leaders in ISOs with those guys. They have 3 guys who are probably going to be Hall of Famers in Booker, Durant, and Beal. But they're 30th in offense in the 4th quarter. They can beat anybody on any night. They can lose to anybody on any night. And the problem is, if this season is deemed a failure, which I would say if they don't get out of the play-in, it would be, there's not a lot of options to change. You can't really trade Booker. You can't trade Durant. Those are superstar players. Beal has a no-trade clause. Their 2 other high-level role players, Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen, are free agents. You don't have much there. And now you're dealing with down the end of the bench guys. It's going to be very difficult to improve this roster under the rules and under the spending that they've put themselves into.
Yeah, this to me is the most crucial stretch of the Thunder season. Really, we already know it's the hardest stretch
of the Suns,
coming up. Oh, sorry, excuse me, of the Suns. But we already know it's the hardest stretch, but it's going to be the most crucial. And to me, what I'm watching for is how they really finish this season strong. More importantly, when you look at this squad, you look at, okay, say they're able to go and win 3 or 4 more games. Okay. All right, now you go into the play-in scenario, potentially in the 7 or 8 position, and you go and win. You certify yourself, and then you get a favorable matchup in the West where you can advance to the postseason, whether it is 1 or 2 rounds. To me, that's a decent outcome given that their big 3 have only played around 35 games so far this season. That's not how they wanted to start, but more so, how are you going to finish? You don't want to lose, but if you lose well, meaning maybe in the 2nd round or the 3rd.
I agree with you, but you're given a lot of givens there from a team that has no givens this year.
That is true. They don't have wiggle room, especially based off of the aggregation of stars that they have within the Suns.
Well, Wendy, number one, I didn't get the memo that teams around the league was afraid of the Phoenix Suns because I don't believe.
Well, the Pelicans are. Booker's put up 50 on them 3 times.
That's fine, but that don't mean that they're afraid of them. I don't think no one is fearing matching up with the Phoenix Suns. Number 2, it's life or death, do or die, when it comes down to the Phoenix Suns and how they finish the rest of this season, because they're only 1 game out of being in the 6th spot. Okay, so you could get out of the play-in tournament. Also, it's a defining moment right now for
Kevin Durant?
No, Bradley Beal. Excuse me. We done saw over the couple of years what Kevin Durant and Devin Booker has done in the postseason. Bradley Beal supposed to be the difference maker. He was added here. The reason that they're top heavy, the reason that they got the first apron or second apron or whatever cooking apron.
You're into the 30s.
I don't even give a damn. He was brought here to be the deciding factor and for them to take that jump in the Western Conference. Now, granted, I understand they haven't been together. They haven't been together for a majority part of this season. But at the end of the day, when you talk about a team, if they underachieve or if they fail, it's gonna be some. It's gonna be some smoke in that organization. And can you really trust KD and if he's gonna be loyal?
The loyalty.
Yeah.
He did say when I asked him if Phoenix was going to be his last stop when we sat down over All-Star, he said, well, today I can say that, but I'm going to be realistic in that I don't have the same sort of sentiments about changing teams that I used to. So he was a bit non-committal. I do want to get to the other side of this matchup, the 2nd game that we have here on ESPN, because Donovan Mitchell, he's back. Remember, he sat out last night's Cavaliers victory over the Jazz. Mitchell, he's been in and out of the lineup, though, since the All-Star break. He played in only 7, really, of Cleveland's 23 games since the break. So, Brian, with the playoffs sort of looming here, how concerned are the Cavaliers about Donovan's health?
It's the most important thing for the Cavs and arguably one of the most important things in the whole Eastern Conference, because when Donovan Mitchell is right, this team has proven that they can beat anybody. They can go toe-to-toe with the Celtics when they're right. They give the Celtics problems over the last 2 years. I'm not picking the Celtics. I'm not picking them against the Celtics, but they give the Celtics problems. But right now, Donovan has lost his explosion. Since that All-Star weekend where he started really having the problems with the knee, he's only shooting 29% on 2-pointers. He is not even going into that basket. He's only taken 41. 56% of his shots since the All-Star break have been threes because he doesn't trust his explosion. He has said this. They did the PRP. It didn't really work. They're managing his injury. They've got other challenges for sure, but when Donovan Mitchell is relegated to three-point shooting, you are taking away what has made him an elite player, and recently for the Cavs, that's what he's been.
Yeah, and to me, I think the hardest part is that the Cavs have found their guy. You know, when he left Utah, a lot of people would say, like, oh, is this the long-term landing destination for Don? Will he have eyes elsewhere? No, he has emerged as their franchise player, and so they will need him to be on the floor.
He said he might have eyes elsewhere.
I might be careful with that franchise word when it comes down to Donovan Mitchell because they did draft Garland in the lottery. Evan Mobley was a lottery pick. Now, granted, I get that Evan Mobley, he hasn't panned out or reached the expectations that we expect him to reach. But at the end of the day, it's time for Donovan Mitchell to take that leap like an Anthony Edwards and leading this team.
I'm not sure he can right now, Perk. I'm not sure if he's
when he was healthy.
It don't have to be with volume shooting or dominating the ball. You're playing alongside one of the top point guards in the game today. Like Garland healthy, he put the world on notice a few times.
Yeah, but he was doing that when he was healthy and he was playing consistently. This was a team that was top 2 or 3 in the East in offense and in defense.
Yeah, but did you believe in them?
Yes, I do, because the East is wide open.
Honestly, Garland is a little bit lost right now, too. The Cavs.
He is lost. When he's going to get found?
Well, that's the thing. They need Donovan to be healthy, and they need Garland to get going. And so we haven't seen those two line up.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Keep them going, try to wear, I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. The city over here,